What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to do my Week 11 picks for the NFL. Starting off with the Thursday night game, Tennessee at Green Bay. I know there's a lot of people that might be thinking Green Bay sort of figured things out against the Cowboys. Christian Watson had a big game. Is that the receiver that's going to step up and all of a sudden turn the Packers season around? I don't think so. I think that the Packers sort of just have a way with the Cowboys, sort of like how the 49ers have it with the Rams and the Packers. They just seem to have the Cowboys number every time they play them. So I don't read too much into that. I think Tennessee is really tough, and I think Tennessee is going to be able to beat them. I don't see the Titans giving up the same types of deep plays and easy plays as the Cowboys did. And I think that the Titans offense can sort of ground and pound out I can't even talk. Can sort of ground and pound out the Packers defense. On to the Sunday slate. Chicago at Atlanta. This is a game that's really, really volatile. I wouldn't feel super confident either way. But to me, it feels like the Bears are the ones that are trending in a little bit of a better direction. They've been scoring like high 20s to low 30s every single game. I don't see the Falcons' defense as one that's going to stop them from doing it. But it could just be that Justin Fields can't get off and run the same way, and that could completely shut the Bears down. Very possible. The Falcons are just this unique combination of like feisty, but still pretty much incompetent and like subpar. I don't know. I'm sort of going with my feelings on this one more than anything else because my brain says neither of these teams are good, but the Bears seem to be trending the right way at this point in the year, so I'm going to go with the Bears. Cleveland at Buffalo. This is a game that's very, very intriguing, specifically for the weather. If it is as snowy as they say it is, that really helps Cleveland. Like a lot. I'm still going to take Buffalo, but if this game is in 3 to 6 feet of snow, like they're saying, that type of weather has a way of evening out like a talent gap, and that plays right into the way the Browns want to play football, which is run the ball, hard-nosed, nasty, and Buffalo's a little more finesse by nature. So we'll see. I'm going to take Buffalo because I think they're just better, and I think that they really need a bounce back, and Cleveland feels like the team that they could do it on. But extreme weather levels the playing field. And other than wind and rain, snow is not ideal. All right, so moving on. Philly at Indy. I mean, I'm going to go with the Eagles. You can say what you want about them losing to the Commanders. Division games are weird, and every single team this year has dropped games that they shouldn't. It was just the Eagles' time to do it. The Colts, they beat the Raiders, but the Raiders are a whole fucking mess. They're a dumpster fire like very few others in this entire league. So I'm going to say Philly stays the course. They bounce back. They beat up the Colts, and I think it's going to be pretty easy. Jets at New England. This could so easily go to the Patriots. I'm going to say the Jets split with them because I just think that if the Jets are going to make the playoffs, they need to show that they can sort of bounce back and get this monkey off their back, which is beating the Pats. Zach Wilson played catastrophic the first time they played. If he doesn't do that again, they probably won that game. So I think that, it's in New England, so I really don't feel good about it. But I'm going to say the Jets are just more talented. They're on the upswing, and man. Yeah, I don't know. I thought these two would split, so I'm just going to say if they split. Yeah, Jets get this one. Rams at New Orleans. Another game that could go either way, I guess, if the Saints are like on a low week. This comes down to which part of the roller coasters on the Saints are the Saints on. They either like play way up here or way down here. The Rams are consistently really low, and they just lost Cooper Kupp. Worst line in the league, lost their really only reliable weapon. They're not going to score a damn thing. I think that the Saints get it done at home in the Superdome. I'll take the Saints. Detroit at the Giants. I like the Lions. I root for the Lions on some level. I'm taking the Giants. They are, I think they're 7-2 now or something like that, right? 7-2, 7-3, depends on if they've had a bye week. They they've shown enough times that this year they're a playoff team. I'm going to say they show it again. You got to beat these teams like the Lions if you're going to make the playoffs and be real. So I'm going to say the Giants try to make another statement that they're real. They beat the Detroit Lions at home. Carolina at Baltimore. Baltimore all day, every day. They're going to blow out Carolina. This is not even going to be close. Carolina's been feisty, so maybe they like keep it close for a time. But Baltimore gets out on pretty much everyone, and they haven't been blowing the leads lately. So Ravens all day, every day. Washington at Houston. I mean, Houston might be the worst team in the league. So Washington sort of by default. Washington also, they upset the Eagles. They've pulled off a few little wins here and there. None of them particularly impressive other than the Philly win, but they got it. So I'm going to go with them to beat the Texans. If they lose to the Texans, it's just like, okay, sure, why not? But yeah, I mean, you'd have to pick Houston. Las Vegas at Denver. Ugh, dude, I don't even know. These two teams are such a mess. The Raiders have sort of had the Broncos number. It's in Denver. It's supposed to be a cold weekend, too, so that could throw off the Raiders a bit. Dude, I don't know. The Raiders don't have anything going for them right now. I'm going to say the Broncos get this game. I don't feel great about saying that at all, but the Broncos defense is stellar, and cold game. Raiders are like so low right now, just from like a morale standpoint. You lost to the Colts, dude. They just fired their coach, and you let them come into your house and beat you. Yeah, I'm gonna say Denver. Denver's defense shuts them down and does just enough against a really porous Raiders defense. All right, Dallas at Minnesota. Minnesota coming off a huge win at Buffalo, and Dallas coming off a stunning loss against Green Bay. I am going to say Dallas wins this because this feels like the type of game that the Vikings would drop, just so none of us actually really know how good they are. They could easily win this. The Vikings are really good, but I think Dallas is going to be a little bit fired up after that Green Bay game, and Minnesota might be flying a little bit too high off the Buffalo game. Yeah, they're prime. They're like prime for a letdown. So I'm gonna go with Dallas beating the Vikings in Minnesota. Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. I'm rooting for the Steelers. T.J. Watt's back, which basically brings the Steelers' defense to a whole nother level. And Jamar Chase is out for the Bengals. They won in Week 1 against the Bengals, but Week 1 I'd pretty much throw off everybody. It's at Pittsburgh. Cincinnati's significantly worse on the road. This legitimately only comes down to the fact I cannot trust the Steelers' offense to score. By virtue of that, I'll take the Bengals. I'm rooting for the Steelers. I would love to see the Steelers beat the Bengals so I can just laugh at basically the several Bengals fans I know. But I don't know, man. Even the Bengals, as much of a roller coaster as they've been, they're not gonna drop this one, right? They have too many games that they need to win to have a shot at the playoffs to drop this one. Unless they're overlooking this, which they shouldn't. The Bengals are not good enough to be overlooking anybody. So I'll take Cincinnati, but I need to buy a terrible towel. Go Steelers, but I'm rooting for the Steelers, but I'll take the Bengals, unfortunately. Kansas City at the Chargers, flexed into Sunday Night Football. Chargers aren't healthy, and even if they were, I'm not sure it matters that much. Chiefs will win this game. They tend to beat the Chargers. The Chargers have this way of just never winning. So, yeah, there's not much to say here. The Chiefs are playing as well as anybody right now. Chargers barely have anybody, in terms of receivers. Keenan Allen and Mike Williams are practicing. I don't know if they'll play. And, they're just – it's the same old Chargers. They have a really talented team going into the year. They get a few injuries. We all pretend we're surprised by it, even though it's the same people every year. And then the Chargers are a big letdown, yada, yada, yada. We've seen this story before. Chiefs win in L.A. And then Monday, we have the 49ers at the Arizona Cardinals. Technically, it's a home game for Arizona, but this game is in Mexico City. So San Fran at Arizona in Mexico City. San Fran, let's go. The 49ers need to start stringing wins together. With Seattle being on a bye week this week, this is the week where if we win, we're atop the NFC West because we'll have a tied record with Seattle and hold the tiebreaker over them. So this is important. Granted, the NFC West is this weird thing where they all tend to be able to beat each other like consistently in a weird way where it's like 49ers will always have their damn way with the Rams. The Rams always have their damn way with the Seahawks. The Cardinals seem to always have their way with the 49ers, at least the last few years. However, I am choosing to believe that that won't happen this time. Not sure if Kyler Murray's playing or not. Even if he does, hasn't played that great this year. I just don't think the Cardinals are talented enough to beat the 49ers. Altitude, all that stuff can play a factor here. But I just think the Niners need it more, and I think they know they need it more. So I'm going to take the 49ers to put the beat down on the Cardinals. And with that, those are my picks for Week 11. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Hopefully it's a great weekend of football. And, yeah, hit that like and subscribe button. Super important. Helps out the channel. Appreciate it. Peace.